Hi darlings, thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. And today I have a flip through of the By the Well for God November kit, Pure in Heart. I'll also be showing you my With Reverence and Awe Gratitude scripture journaling and a couple of the Bible entry pages that I got done this month. So I did a mix of notes in my traveler's notebook, as I always do. I also included in this traveler's notebook the scripture for With Reverence and Awe, which was the gratitude project. And then I did a couple of pages on the side as well. So let's go ahead and dig in. Okay, so Pure in Heart was basically mainly about just centering about one of the Beatitudes, pure in heart, or blessed are those pure in heart. But it also went through all of the Beatitudes from the Sermon on the Mount. And so what I did was, in my notebook here, I did notes for all 8 of the Beatitudes. I focused on those, and then I did my scripture journaling as well for the With Reverence and Awe. So I had printed out 2 of these. One on regular copy paper and one on cardstock. I didn't use the one on cardstock. That's why you guys see this here. But I did use the one on printer paper in here because it's a lighter paper and it wouldn't create too much bulk in my traveler's notebook. So when we open up here, I usually decorate the front, but the front was so beautiful, I didn't want to take away from that. So this is the first month that I actually leave the cover as is. Inside though, I did do some decor. I used one of my favorite Beatitudes here in the beginning here. This is a journaling card that came with the kit. I stamped around with the stamp Healing Leaves. I used this a lot this month, using some of the Distress Oxide. I think I used tea dye on this side, and on this side I used peeled paint. Peeled paint was the color I used. Those were 2 of the colors that match most in this kit. So here I did an entry page with a big die cut of an entryway. I did some stamping on the outside. Around with the Healing Leaves again. And then I did Blessed Are Those, just as, like a title to entry. And then my writing all the way around here, not in a specific order, I actually wrote down all of the Beatitudes and the blessing that comes with it. For example, I put, blessed are the poor in spirit, ... theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So like a short version of that. So all the way around in the black, you'll see that. I also stamped out November 1st to November 30th because I have all of my scripture journaling in here as well. Okay, so opening up, I started off with Poor in Spirit. So what I did was I did kind of a study on Poor in Spirit. I used this sticker, which is on white sticker paper. It came with the kit. It has Matthew 5:3, which is where you can find Pure in Spirit. I wrote out the verse up here, and then I did some word study with a couple of the words here. As you can see, this broken down. I used my Blue Letter Bible app for that. And then I put in some of my takeaways for Pure in Spirit, or Poor in Spirit, sorry. The second one I did was Those Who Mourn. Again, I used that sticker. It came with 6 of these stickers, so 6 of the Beatitudes will have this. And this is from Matthew 5:4. And I wrote out the verse here, did a little bit of word study about the word mourn, a takeaway, and then this was my biggest takeaway here, grieving over what grieves God. I also used, as you guys can see here, these are the titles from the additional sticker set that it has one per every day of the devotional. Of course, there's 14 days of the devotional, so there are 14 titles, but I only pulled the ones for the 8 Beatitudes because that's what I mainly focused on in my notes here. You can see that I use a mix of those titles and the clear stickers. I loved using the clear stickers this month. I also used some washi that was in my kit, so you'll see that. Here, this is faux washi, clear stickers, this one. And so here, same thing. I did the Beatitude Peacemakers. I wrote out the Beatitude Matthew 5:9 here. I did some like a mini word study on the word peacemakers and some of my takeaways. And then down here, I have some cross references as well. I liked digging into other cross references just to get a bigger knowledge or a bigger idea and understanding of what that specific verse is referring to. Next one was persecuted in Matthew 5:10. I wrote out the verse here, some of my takeaways, and I wrote out the verses 5:11 and 5:12 because those continue the beatitude for persecuted. The meek, using some of the labels here. Again, that title from the clear stickers, some extra clear stickers around here. You'll see some faux washi strips. And here I did the same, wrote out the verse. I have a mini word study on the word meek, some of my takeaways, and a cross reference written out here. I have another sticker here, Matthew 5:5, Matthew 5:6, for those who hunger and thirst. Wrote out my verse. I did a takeaway. And here I actually wrote some quotes from my Fire Bible that were in the commentary. And then I did some cross references as well. So depending on how I did my study that day is how you'll see I developed my notes for that day. Mercy was next, and then I wrote out my verse. I did a mini word study here on the word merciful, a quote from the commentary in my Fire Bible, and some of the cross references as well. I used not some faux washi. This is some actual washi that was in my stash that I thought mixed well with the sunflowers and the florals. These two are clear stickers from the extra kit. These two are white sticker paper, and this is the last two from the set of 6 that came with the kit. The next one was pure in heart. And as you can see, I did not go in order when it comes to the 8 Beatitudes, but I was doing them just as I went along and as the Spirit led me. I have 3 takeaways from pure in heart. I have some cross references and also a quote from my commentary in the Fire Bible for pure in heart. I had tons of fun mixing in all of the artwork with my notes for all 8 Beatitudes. And then we go into my actual scripture writing. So you may ask yourself how I knew where it was going to start. What I did was once I started this notebook, I separated 8 different pages. So I counted out 8 pages. And then I started off my scripture journaling here. So even though I wasn't doing these at the same time, I could daily come in and do my scripture journaling. On some days that I would fall behind, I would do a couple of days at a time. But I already knew that it started here and that I needed to leave these pages empty. So I kind of bookmarked them, so to speak. So here we have with reverence and awe, and I have days 1 through 7, which focuses on the praise for God's character and creation. I kept it super simple. I used the little squares that came with the printable. I also cut out the topics, and then I didn't cut out all of the days. What I did was I wrote out the scripture for each day. So you see the topic there. And then I have days 8 through 10. We're still focusing on praise for God's character and creation. Just wrote those out using those clear stickers. I loved using them on the edge and kind of using it on the other side, just playing with the edge of the pages. Loved using the faux washi that matched with it. And I did some stamping with the leaves on the little squares. As you can see, very lightly, but just adding some color there. On the days 14 through 20, all of days 14 through 20 focus on gratitude for God's blessings. So I put the little title here. I used the little squares again, wrote out my scriptures. In the background here, I am using one of the stencils along with the color peeled paint. I loved how this turned out because I created kind of a diamond effect. I used one of the clear stickers, that little truck that I loved so much, cut it in I cut it in half and then I put one on each side. And I absolutely love how pretty this one came out. Having some fun with the artwork. Also, I didn't mention that on this first one here, I used the scattered leaves in the background with some color. That's why you see so much color here. That's that stencil that I used here, and then that stencil that I used here. And then on this one, I kept it pretty simple as well, like every other week. These were days 21 through 26, and this was thanks for God's provision and sacrifice, and also gratitude in worship and service. These were days 21 through 26. Wrote these out. I used some of the tie-dye or tea-dye ink, Distress Oxide, with that leaf in the background there to spread some color. The long washi strips from the added sticker set, and a clear sticker in this corner right here, leaving tons of room for, I knew I had a lot of verses for this week, so I left tons of room for scripture writing. And then this was the last couple of days. These were praise and prayer and thanksgiving in victory and triumph. So days 27 through 30. And this was super simple. I used some buffalo plaid washi that I had in my stash, a couple of clear stickers that I had left, this die cut because I thought it matched beautifully, and I used a leaf. This was actually from another stamp set that I had in my stash, and I used it with that peeled paint to tie in some of that green and scattered that around, and that finished off my scripture writing for the month. And so I have tons of pages left, not like I usually have 14 days of notes, but because I only focus on the 8 prompts, I had enough space for me to do all 30 days of the with reverence and all gratitude prompts. And I'm so glad I did that because I have it all in one traveler's notebook and I can put these away together. Now I want to move on to show you 3 of the pages that I got done this month for Pure in Heart. The first one was, well, this wasn't the first one I did, but I did this one in my spiral notebook. I was doing mini word studies, as you guys saw in my traveler's notebook, as I was going through all 8 of the Beatitudes, and I wanted to transfer those mini word studies into my spiral Bible. So that's what I did here. I just wrote out the Beatitudes with my stickers. I put mini word study. I do have a process for you, so I'm going to try and link it below for you. And then I just went out and I wrote all of the Greek words and their meanings for each of the Beatitudes that I studied. I cut out a journaling card scene here and added this to the bottom, a label and the date that I made this page, and a Pure in Heart sticker at the top so I knew which kit I was working through, and I love how this turned out. The Spiral Bible is perfect for notes like these, tons of margin space, but you can also make it a little bit like verse mapping right here within the actual margin of the Bible, or not margin, but the actual verses of the Bible. Really love this. I'll link below a spiral Bible just in case you guys are interested in picking that up. I do have an affiliate link. Another page that I did was I wanted to focus on hunger and thirst. This was one of the Beatitudes that I really wanted to dig in and I feel like impacted me a lot. When I was doing my study, I had kind of collected 3 different main points of hunger and thirst that I wanted to journal out. So I journaled that out here. And again, I used a quote from my commentary in my Fire Bible, and I added this here. I am using a cross-reference verse that is in Psalms chapter 42, verse 1. And this is a cross-reference verse for Matthew 5:6, where you can find the Beatitude for hunger and thirst. I used 2 different journaling cards that I cut out the scenes and use them here. So don't throw away those journaling cards. They're perfect to use as extra die cuts. In the background here, I'm using a mixture of tea dye and carved pumpkin with the scattered leaves stencil. I did some splatters in the background as well. I do have a process video for this, so I will link this below if you're interested. And this one was done in my illustrating Bible. Love all the texture on this one. And the first page that I actually did this month for this one was actually in my Interleaf Bible. And I love all the colors here. I wanted to do kind of a list. And I've done these in my Bible before. I love creating lists within, kind of connecting my Bible study notes with art and bringing it together into my Bible. So what I did was, in this page next to the Sermon on the Mount, I boxed out the Beatitudes and I listed out all 8 of those. And then I put a quote from Tom from the actual, I think this was day 2, from the actual devotional. And I used 2 of the clear stickers, as you can see, all of the clear alphas, some of the number alphas number on white sticker paper that came with the kit, and also a label to hold my title. I absolutely love how this turned out. I used the smooshing method in the back and also the waffle knit texture stamp for some of this. I also have a process video for this, and I'll link it below for you. And that is it. That wraps up the Pure in Heart November devotional. You guys, this is a super sweet devotional. I am not surprised that it sold out. And I'm going to link below those videos just in case you didn't catch it. And thank you so much for joining me each and every video, darlings. God bless. Bye.